A train passes just inches from your seat, your coffee trembling as the horn blares, a rush of wind, and a surge of adrenaline as steel barrels past houses that almost kiss the tracks. But as exhilarating as it is Train Street in Hanoi truly worth the hype? Is it even safe or legal to experience this phenomenon? Before you decide to visit, let's explore what makes this iconic spot both famous and controversial. Break down how to plan your visit, unravel what it's really like to sip coffee so close to danger, and discuss the evolving rules and safety measures you need to know. First, what is Train Street, and how did it become a global sensation? Deep in the heart of Hanoi's Old Quarter, there's a narrow residential street where tall, weathered houses flank either side of a single set of railway tracks. Built during the French colonial era, these tracks have cut through Hanoi for over a century, long before modern trains or tourists arrived. Local families lived and worked here, adapting their lives around the strict schedule when the train was due to pass, pulling in laundry, gathering children, and moving bicycles off the tracks with choreographed efficiency. But the world outside barely noticed until photographers stumbled upon this urban marvel, and word began to spread. Train Street exploded onto social media feeds, a slice-of-life spectacle where you could enjoy Vietnamese coffee or egg coffee in cafes perched dangerously close to the passing locomotives. Soon, visitors from around the world descended on these tight streets, all eager for a front-row seat to the daily thunderous parade of trains. Finding Train Street isn't difficult, but it helps to plan your route. It runs along two main segments, one near Le Duan Street and the more popular stretch at Tran Phu, but the latter is where you'll find the iconic scene. From Hoan Kiem Lake, it's about a 15-minute walk. As you approach, you'll see dense, colorful homes pressed up against the rails, cafes perched above the tracks, and signs warning or inviting you to come in. Entrance to the street for tourists is often monitored, especially since safety regulations have tightened, but many cafes offer a ticket inside if you promise to buy a drink. Timing is crucial to get the full experience. Trains don't run constantly, so check the latest schedules before planning your visit. Typically, the spectacle unfolds twice in the morning and in the evening, though times can vary and are often subject to changes from authorities due to safety concerns. Arriving about half an hour before a scheduled train lets you soak up the anticipation and secure a prime seat. Sundays and evenings tend to be the busiest, while early mornings offer a quieter, more local vibe. Stepping into a Train Street cafe is a unique sensory adventure. You'll squeeze into a tiny seat, perhaps just a meter from the rails, and order the drink du jour, Vietnamese iced coffee, egg coffee, or a local beer. The hum of conversation fills the air, but as the train's arrival is imminent, excitement builds. Locals and tourists alike gather, phones ready. The staff will usually give a warning, sometimes ringing a bell or shouting instructions to step inside or stand behind the white line. The energy is electric but tense. Then it happens. The train's headlights slice through the dusk, growing larger and louder, and a low rumble shakes the cups on your table. For a brief few seconds, there's an intensity. It's loud, fast, almost surreal. Some people pull back instinctively, while others, perhaps braver, lean in, cameras rolling, eyes wide with wonder. The train roars past, less than an arm's length away, and with it, a gust of wind and the thunder of steel briefly fills the air. As quickly as it comes, calm returns. People laugh, exchange photos, and soak in the afterglow, that strange mix of relief and exhilaration. But let's talk about the elephant on the tracks, safety and legality. As Train Street's fame skyrocketed, so too did concerns from city officials. Crowds often spilled onto the railway, crowding the tracks, snapping selfies, and creating real dangers for both themselves and the train operators. In fact, in recent years, Vietnamese authorities have clamped down on unchecked access, citing both safety risks and interruptions to rail schedules. Entry points are heavily watched, and during peak seasons, police may block access entirely, allowing only locals and cafe patrons through. Cafes along the street have responded by implementing their own safety measures: ropes, painted lines, and mandatory movement away from the rails as trains approach. If you visit, you must listen closely to staff and respect all warnings. Don't let the photo op tempt you onto the tracks. Accidents can and have happened. So, is it legal? Technically, the government discourages tourists from entering the street unless visiting a resident or a cafe as a paying customer. Many cafes have struck informal agreements with authorities to allow guests, so long as safety rules are upheld. But policies can change rapidly. What was open one day might close the next, all depending on the latest government stance. Bringing it all together, is Train Street worth the hype? That depends on the kind of traveler you are. If you crave offbeat experiences and live for adrenaline-filled moments, Train Street delivers in spades. Nowhere else can you safely, when rules are followed, sit so close to a rumbling train, coffee in hand, immersed in the heartbeat of local Hanoi life. The blend of nerves, excitement, and community is unlike any tourist spot you'll find. However, it's not for everyone. It's crowded by design, loud, and not as spontaneous as it once was. And of course, the safety risks are very real, especially if visitors ignore directions. If you decide to go, do so responsibly. Respect the residents whose homes line the tracks, support the local cafes, and above all, follow any rules or warnings. Your thrill shouldn't come at the expense of anyone's safety. So, would you sit that close to a moving train? Does the unique energy, the local flavor, and the one-of-a-kind photo outweigh the risk? Let us know what you think. Would you brave the rails in Hanoi's Train Street, or does the hype miss the mark for you?